my 4-inch round lever belt, about $75, $85 online. Go to any one of the powerlifting stores, websites, and you'll find it there. I'm not going to mention any company names because they're not sponsoring me yet, so on this channel. But someday, when they do, I'll be more than happy to mention the name. So in the meanwhile, if you want to go ahead and check that out online, that's the best way to do it. Okay, but just don't get it through Amazon or some other cheap website. You'll get garbage. You'll get some paper thin belt. Hi, this is John and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking to you about lifting belts. The kind of lifting belts that I use myself, whether or not you should wear one. How about that? So, first, this right here in my hand is my actual lifting belt. I do use lifting belts, first of all. I've been 35 years training myself right now, and from the very beginning, I was taught from some powerlifters at an old YMCA how to use a good lifting belt and when to use it too. And so I use my lifting belt on all of my squats, deadlift, bent over rows, if I'm doing standing overhead presses. But other than that, I don't use a belt. So on the big, very big lifts, squatting, deadlifting, and overhead presses, that's it. Front squats, back squats, any kind of squat, I'll use a belt, okay? And I do use it on warm-ups from the moment I start warming up. And I know you guys, some of you guys are gonna say, oh, but you gotta train your core to be as strong as the rest of your body. And you must, hold your belly in instead of pushing it out against the belt. Hold on, hear me out. Here's the thing. When I go to do my squats, it's a sort of a ritual, not a ritual, but a practice that I do from the time I start warming up. I'm thinking in my head psychologically, just like deadlifts, I'm imagining that I'm doing explosive, hardcore lifting right from the very first warm-up. So I want to be all systems go, check, 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 right down the list. From my shoes, my foot placement, to the clothes that I wear on certain workouts, to wearing my belt on my warm-ups. So from the time I do my warm-ups on those exercises, I will be wearing a belt. And I get enough core training and indirect training on all of the other exercises that I don't worry about it. 35 years, no back issues whatsoever. I wear my belt. That's it. So I wear a 4-inch lever belt, and this is it right here. And it's preset, as you can see, to my waist size. And I do my best to not change that setting on that belt. So it's a whole other story for another day right there. But I wear my 4-inch around lever belt. So that's me. My favorite for me. Now, I want to show you guys and girls another kind of lever belt right here. This is a tapered lever belt. And the reason why I like the lever belts, of course, is you don't have to crank it on like the traditional types of belts. This is just simply pop the lever on, boom. You do your set, pop the lever off, boom. You're done with your set, and you pull it apart, and that's it. So why am I showing you this lever belt that's tapered? You see, right here, it goes down and in. For those of you who are a little less taller, in other words, 5'2", 5'3", and under, probably 5'5", 5'6", and under, with a short space between your rib cage and your waist and your hip bone, you can wear a tapered lever belt. So you can find these belts online, find it through one of the better powerlifting manufacturers. I would get it. I don't recommend going through Amazon and just buying any belt that fits this description. Do not do that. You will get a cheap garbage belt. These are, heavy duty, 10 millimeter, both of them, 10 millimeter suede leather. They're nice. They last forever. I've had my belt, this one right here, for, 10 years. So, and this one right here is my wife's belt, and you can see. It's a leather belt, but it's tapered, and it's a nice soft suede, and it's very comfortable and fits really well, and it lasts a very long time. You want to pay the extra money. Should cost about $75, $85 for a tapered leather belt, or even the same thing for my 4-inch around leather belt, about $75, $85 online. Go to any one of the powerlifting stores, websites, and you'll find it there. I'm not going to mention any company names because they're not sponsoring me yet, so on this channel, but someday when they do, I'll be more than happy to mention a name. So in the meanwhile, if you want to go ahead and check that out online, that's the best way to do it. Okay, but just don't get it through Amazon or some other cheap website. You'll get garbage. You'll get some paper thin belt that's just going to break on you. So leather belts, my favorite. Early on, though, however, I have to tell you, I have to show you this one belt right here. It's a classic. This right here is a Reebok pump belt. It actually has a pump right over here, and they made these for a short time. See Reebok right here? And it would pump up right here in the lower back section. As I'm pumping it, it's filling with air right between my fingers right here. So the belt would fill the space in between the lower back and the belt itself. So it would keep a nice little support for that lordosis, for that curve. I hope you can see that. It's a little bit pumped up right now. It's really a comfortable belt. I don't know why they stopped making these, but I held on to this so that someday I could give it to my son, which I did do. And so this is his belt right here, 15 years old. So he's just started really lifting. And then the pump goes away right here. You press the button, all the air comes out of the pump. So really cool, a really cool little Reebok pump belt. And you can see the Insta Pump right there, it says. So they don't make these anymore. They have other kinds of cross-training Reebok belts. But anyway, those are the belts that we use right here. Mainly the leather belts. Those are our favorites. And I wear a 4-inch around leather belt. Now look, for those of you who, I told you to hear me out, right? For those of you who believe, firmly that you should just never wear a belt. Here's the thing. Over the years, I've had training partners. I've seen guys in the gym who said to me, no, I don't wear a belt. No, I don't believe in wearing a belt. I want to keep my core super strong. Same, as my leg strength goes up, my back strength goes up. I want my abdominal and surrounding core muscles to get as strong as well. So they wouldn't wear a belt. I understood what they were saying. I wasn't going to change what I was doing because I wasn't having any problem training with my belt. However, I have to say, every single one of those guys hurt their backs. Every one of them. I don't know any of them. Maybe you do. I'm not saying that person doesn't exist. But little correlation. I was willing to go there. And I just said, I don't think I'll take that chance. So I just continued to use my belt. But an observation. All of the guys that lifted heavy weight, squatted heavy weight, deadlifted heavy weight, and did not use a belt. Every one of them, at one point or another, severely hurt their backs. And, they go back to it again without their belt later on after they recovered from their back injury, if they recovered from it. So, again, I didn't argue with them. It was just another observation that the ones without the belts ended up with problems. So I go with what my original powerlifting buddies taught me in the beginning at that YMCA in New York when I was first getting into it. And I wear my belt. I consistently wear it. So I like it. That's my only reason right there that I don't recommend tossing the belt to the side on all the big lifts. I have my clients wear their belts. The ones who have them, the ones who lift big weights, wear a belt. And then the ones who don't, they don't have to yet, but eventually they will. So that's pretty much it. Just talking about lifting belts today and whether or not you should use them. Ultimately, it's your choice. But I'm going to tell you, as you know, I'm going to tell you my opinion, right, on this channel. So today, from my heart to you, John Hart, thanks for stopping by and really appreciate you. And I hope you do wear a belt. If you have any questions or comments, right down below over there, go ahead. Hit me with those comments. You all know I get back to you. And if you don't mind, if you're not subscribed to this channel, well, all the way to the right, you have that red subscribe button. Please Press that button and you'll be subscribed. You'll get notifications anytime I put up some new videos. And all the way to the left, you got a thumbs up button over there. Helps a lot if you give it a little thumbs up. I appreciate that very much. Thank you.